Oop. Oops. Lots of energy today. It's 90 degrees out, or 88 when I was in the Jeep. It's 5 o'clock, and there's some pretty good energy, pretty good gusts and stuff. I knew it was going to be a little bit busy. The rule is you don't launch before 5 during the summer, and so I'm like 5 o'clock on the dot. It's a little bit gusty.
You sending it? Are you going?
Fly fast and sink, and slow and lift. Lost a couple hundred feet, maybe 500 feet, maybe. One time when we were little kids, me and my brother decided we were going to go, and this is in Arizona, we were going to go and look inside of this water tower. And it wasn't like a normal water tower. This water tower was carved into the top of the mountain. So it was like a giant swimming pool inside of a metal tin, and surrounding the top there was a tiny little bit of air that they had these like combustion grills all around the edges, and so there was this little bit of light. And after you opened up the hatch, you could climb down inside, and the light from the open hatch would give you this kind of beam of light down into the water, and you couldn't really tell how deep it was, but the ladder went down directly into the water. And in Arizona in the summer, sometimes it's brutally hot, and that day was no different during the summer. And so we rode our bikes all the way up there. We're sweaty, and we decided, you know what, we're gonna open up the lid. So we take a big rock and we break the lock off, climb down in the ladder. It's cold and nice and crisp. The smell of the tank reminds you of like a swimming pool, kind of, with minus the chemical smells, I guess. And so we started kind of one at a time. There was 5 or 6 of us. We all started to swim in the pool, this drinking water for the city. And the edges of the water tank were lined with this 10 mil slippery plastic, like a trash bag, but really thick and super slick. And there was kind of a little bit of a, I guess, some slime maybe on the edges. It made it really slippery, so you couldn't climb up, but you could. There was a spot where there was some steps kind of carved in that you could use. And anyways, we swam around in there for, I don't know, it seemed like half an hour or so, and then to our surprise, the lid slammed closed, and so now it's almost pitch dark inside of this tank, and kids start screaming, and everybody kind of huddles up to the ladder, you know, because you got to do what you got to do to, you're not going to be swimming. And so we all kind of huddle up to the ladder, and we're all kind of hanging there. And I'm one of the older boys of the group. I was probably about 13 or 14 maybe, and so I made the call to climb up to the top of the ladder, flip myself upside down, and kick the hatch to try to open the hatch. And to no avail. It seemed like eternity. We're sitting there kicking the door and screaming and crying. Some kids are praying and some kids are weeping, and we're all just thinking that our fate is in this water tank, and who knows how long it's going to be. And realistically, from the looks of the place, no one goes up there, and it really did feel like eternity while we all sat there. Kids are starting to shiver, although it's not cold. It's probably 80 degrees, but for fear of what was going to happen, we're screaming for help at the top of our lungs for a time. We're trying to find other exits, swimming around, trying to keep my brother calm and my friends, trying to convince them that it's going to be okay. We just have to chill. Just wait a second. And about 30 minutes, which seemed like eternity, went by. And then the hatch came open. And there was so much just joy when the hatch came open, because we realized, you know what, this light, man, that beautiful light that we were enjoying hours before was now beaming in, and the whole place was lit up because our eyes had adjusted. And the Salt River Project worker was standing there at the top as we all climbed out, and we were greeted by about 3 or 4 police cars. So there was mixed emotions, obviously, because we're safe, but also at the same time, now we're gonna face judgment for what we did, swimming inside of the Phoenix water supply system. So we get out, you know, and our parents very shortly after showed up to pick us up and grab our bikes. Yeah, buddy. And I was just reminiscing on that feeling of being set free from just terrifying bondage for 30 minutes. And anyways, I thought it was interesting, the feeling of being free. I compare it a lot to when I got let out of jail, and also the same kind of euphoria of getting saved. There's a helicopter flying down the valley right now. It's crazy. A big old rescue helicopter. So maybe you're trapped. Maybe your life feels like you're inside this tank, and it's dark and scary, and you don't know what's going to happen next, and every minute feels like a year, and the moments they just feel like death looming. So I want to tell you there's hope. I know most of the time messages are all kind of hopeless, or they're just kind of fickle and light, and everybody wants to be, well, just non-judgy, and don't talk too much about stuff that deals in people's business. And I just want to encourage you, there is hope. When I made that decision to, cry out and say, whoever created me, if there's a God in heaven, if you're really there, show me. When I said that prayer, I had no idea the ramifications. It was kind of like a last hope. And I'm just so grateful. It's like a whole different life. I'm not saying that every day is just peachy and everything's great, but I'll tell you what, man, my life is so much better. I was willing to try drugs. I was willing to do anything. Why not give Jesus a try? What's that? Hey. Thanks, man. How you doing? All right. Still pretty energetic out here. Yeah, it's good.